Real quick, before we get into the video, some of you might recognize my content from earlier. Unfortunately, because of some personal reasons, I had to stop uploading, and eventually I even ended up deleting this channel. Some of you probably even thought I died because of the way I ride. But good news, obviously I didn't. I didn't even crash. What I wanted to say though, I've ordered a new bike and it's crazier than the CBR650R. It's coming at the end of July, so mark that in your calendar and stay tuned to see what it is. I also got a whole new setup, including a brand new camera and 2 mics, so the quality is going to be a whole new level as well. And lastly, when I stopped uploading, I had a little over 1,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate the support again. Go freaking subscribe right now, because when I get the new bike, it's going to be freaking crazy.
What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I wanted to talk about the top 5 things I love about my CBR650R. So let's get right into the video, boys. So number 1 for me, boys, would be comfortability. And I know it can be surprising because it's under the super sport category on the Honda website, and that's how Honda advertises this bike. But compared to other sport bikes or super sports, this is so much more comfortable. The seating position is not that aggressive compared to like an ZX6R or maybe even an R7. So you're definitely gonna feel a lot more comfortable riding this bike, especially if you're a taller guy. I'm pretty sure the seating on the CBR650R is pretty low, so almost anyone can ride this bike, even if you're super short. And I think they just have their pegs and everything set up so nicely, so it's number 1 comfortable, but number 2 you also feel sporty. It's kind of like something in the middle where you can kind of use this as a daily rider maybe, and then you can also take this bike to the track, have a lot of fun, do wheelies, do dumb shit, all that stuff. So overall, comfortability and performance are really well put together in my opinion. Compared to my Duke 390 that I had, the seating height on the Duke 390 was way higher in my opinion, or at least how my legs felt and everything, you know. So it doesn't really bother me, but my knees are like really bent when I'm standing still. But it is what it is. You'll get used to the seating height if you're taller. What matters the most is that it's comfortable and you look decently good if you're a tall guy riding this bike. Just so you guys know, my list that I'm talking about right now is not in any order. It's kind of just what popped up to my mind first. So with that being said, let's get on to number 2. I know you guys will probably not agree with me, but I really like this dash or this display. I know the new 2024 models have a new TFT display, which looks pretty good, but I saw a POV of another guy riding the bike and I just got so used to this display that the TFT one just does not look right on the CBR, boys. And that's just my opinion, but I just really like the way it's set up. I would honestly take this over the TFT display on the CBR. I had a TFT on my Duke 390, loved it, so I'm not against TFT displays, but I just got used to this one so much that I end up liking it more than the TFT display. So number 3, I would say the maintenance side of things, which, I mean, pretty much maintenance on a bike is very similar. But when I compare the owner's manual of the Duke 390 and the CBR650R, I was confused on how to adjust the chain properly and how to properly measure it on the Duke 390 because it just didn't make sense what they were writing in the book, boys. So for a beginner rider that would purchase this bike, It's a great thing to know exactly what to do, how to do it, how to check your stuff. Honda really just has this down. They know what they're doing. They know how to please their customers. They know they want a bike that's not super hard to maintain, that it's super reliable, and Honda always makes reliable bikes, boys. You can't really go wrong with the CBR when it comes to maintenance side of things and reliability. And power's not lacking either, boys. Another thing I really like about the CBR is the aftermarket support. Obviously, it's not as big as some of the stunt bikes like the 636, MT-07, MT-09, but you can still get so many aftermarket parts for this bike. You can get sprockets, you can get different fairings, you can get extended fairings that cover kind of the side of the engine right here. So many windshields, mirrors, all that stuff. So when it comes to customization, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Number 5 is gonna be many small things kind of added together that I want to mention that are positive and nice about the bike. So first thing I wanted to mention would be the time it took me to get used to the bike. Almost zero. So intuitive. You know, you have some bikes that take some time getting used to, but even coming from a naked bike, coming from a 390, I got used to this super easy. It wasn't hard to get used to the weight difference, the size difference, everything. So it was just super easy to get used to the bike. Boys, I also forgot to say I have to be somewhere in about a half an hour, so we're gonna have to finish it off here now on the windy highway. So I'm sorry about the wind, boys. I'll go a bit slower so I can still talk to you guys, and then we'll probably end it off in a bit, boys. Another thing that I used to actually hate, and now I really like it, is this traction control switch up here. Because usually you guys have your high beam switch up here. It was like that on my Duke 390, it's like that on many bikes. But Honda decided to make this high beam switch here. If you just click this, you're just flashing your high beams, and then obviously you're turning your high beams here. And they put this traction control switch here, I think because they literally want you to turn it off, they want you to do wheelies, they want you to have fun with the bike, and they wanted to make the switch super accessible, very easy to switch it on and off, even if you're riding. You know, you can be riding around normally, you can see kind of an empty straight opening up, quickly just turn off traction control, boom, front wheels up, ready to go, easy. You don't have to like take your hand off and try and click through like a menu or something. I had to do that on my Duke 390 if I wanted to turn off ABS. I had to like go through a freaking menu to turn it off. It's not super annoying, at least you can turn it off, but it's way easier to just have one switch, super accessible at all times. Alright boys, I'm gonna go have some fun on the highway. I'll try and keep some of the clips in, but it's way too freaking windy. let me know if you guys like this one, and let me know if you guys would want a top 5 things I hate about the CBR650R. I might end up doing it, but it depends if you guys want it as well. So let me know if you guys want to see a video like that. And if you guys did enjoy this one, please give it a like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and I'll see you boys next week. Peace!